Hello children. To motion in one dimension, the graphical representation, how to understand from the graph which type of motion the body is undergoing. So we are going to revise the previous graphs which we have done. Here you can see on the screen it is displacement versus time graph which is shown. So in displacement versus time, if the line is parallel to the x-axis, then you are going to interpret the representation of the graph as body is at rest. Okay, so here you can see that after every time interval, the body is observed to be at position B, and that's the reason the line is parallel to the x-axis. So here you can write that the displacement is going to be 0. The reason is the body is at rest. That's why it is not displacing, it is not changing its position with respect to the surrounding. Now next graph, here displacement versus time, but you can see that this is a straight line graph. Straight line graph means after every time interval, you can see after 1 second the body is at 10 meter. After 2 seconds, the body is at 20 meter. That means every time the body is changing its position. That means the body is in motion. But if you are, because the graph will give you the slope and the slope value will give you the velocity. As you know that displacement upon time is velocity. So you can see from here that as displacement, when you are taking the slope, you will take y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So displacement upon time will give you the value for velocity. And as you are going to get the velocity constant, you say that the body is moving with uniform velocity. Now suppose if you want to convert this graph into velocity time graph, if you calculate the velocity, you will see that 20 minus 10, I'm doing it orally, 20 minus 10 is 10 upon 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. So 20 minus 10 means 10 upon 1. That means 10 meter per second you are going to get the value for velocity. Okay, so now suppose if I want to convert this particular displacement time graph into velocity time graph. So what I'm going to get, as you can see that here you can see it is velocity versus time. Now here the velocity is constant. So as I told you from the displacement time graph, also I said that velocity, if you find the slope, you will get velocity constant. Now there it is 10. Now here it is 4. Suppose if I change this particular value, if I change this value to say 10, okay, I'll have to change the reading, of course. I'll have to change this reading. If I say that I'm not, I'm going to take this particular reading as it is, okay, and I'm going to change the entire reading of the y-axis. Means when I'm plotting, when you are plotting the graph, that time you consider the 1 centimeter is equal to 10 meter per second. So now here, as you can see, it is 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter per second. So here I am considering 1 centimeter is equal to, that means one box of the graph is equal to 10 meter per second. So according to that, I have plotted over here 10. So my line which I will draw, as I have told you that it's going to be constant, the velocity is constant. I'm plotting that particular graph, displacement time graph, which I showed you in the previous slide. I'm converting it into velocity time graph. So then this line will be parallel to the x-axis. And I'm going to get the line graph, which is going to be parallel to the x-axis. So I hope till here it's clear that how you convert the displacement time graph where the body is moving with the uniform velocity. So you get a straight line, and from that you find the slope. And then when you want to convert it into velocity time graph, as the uniform is constant, you are going to draw the straight line which will be parallel to the x-axis. Children, till here I hope it's clear. Um, Now we go to the example of the similar type. So similar type example, you will see. Okay, I will be revising all the graphs before going to that. So let me just show you this question. Now, if you read the question, it says, okay, the question says, figure shows the displacement time graph for the motion of a body. Use it to calculate the velocity of the body at t is equal to 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, and draw the velocity time graph for it. Means this particular graph, as you can see, it's a straight line graph. That means you understand that the body is moving with uniform velocity. That means the slope will give you the value of velocity. And if you want to convert it into velocity time graph, it will be, as velocity is constant, the line which you're going to draw, okay, whatever value you get for the velocity, the line when you're going to draw from that particular point, it's going to be parallel to the x-axis, that is the this particular line. Okay, so now here, as you can see, this is 0 and I'm taking the maximum 2 coordinates. So here I'm going to consider, so here I'm going to consider this point 0 from where it is starting and the maximum point. Okay, so now when I take y2 minus y1, that is 8 minus 0 upon 4 minus 0, so that is 8 upon 4, 8 upon this. So please check, if 8 is the y2, y1 and y2. So y2 minus y1, that is 8 minus 0 upon x2, that is 4 minus 0. So 8 minus 0 is 8, 4 minus 0 is 4. Now when I cut this, 4 ones are, I get answer over here 4, 2s are 8. That means the slope gives me the value for velocity, as I have told you, displacement time graph when you're drawing and you're finding the slope. Slope will give you the value for velocity, displacement upon time. So you got velocity as 2. Now you can see that 2 is over here because this is y-axis is representing velocity and x-axis is representing time. So when you are going to transfer this particular graph into velocity time graph, so now what will you do is, you will draw a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. So I'm using red so that it will be visible to you. So this is how your graph from the displacement time graph is converted to velocity time graph when the body is moving with uniform velocity. I hope till your children everything is clear. Now we go to the next part. So as I told you that again, I'll be revising first with you the whatever graphs we have done previously. So I'm going to revise everything and then I'm going to go to the next part. So here so now here I'm going to tell you about the graph which we have done previously. Here you can see this in this particular type of graph. It is displacement time graph. The body is moving in a straight line. Then at one point, that is when it is at 60 meter, it is coming backwards. When the direction is changing, because this will give you positive slope, this slope will be negative. So that means positive slope and negative slope, what does it indicate in this particular graph? So in this particular graph, it indicates that the body is moving in one direction and then it is coming back. Okay, because if in this case it was moving in one direction, okay, then it moved till 60 meter, and after that it is coming back. And if you check, if it is coming back, that time the velocity is going to differ from the velocity what it was having when it was going in forward direction. So here the example you have to remember that the body is moving with uniform velocity. The reason is when you are considering the slope for one part, and then when you're considering the slope for the another part, that will give you the constant value. That's the reason I said that the body is moving with uniform velocity. And the example what you will compare with this particular graphical representation is a ball is striking a wall and is bouncing back. So it is coming back in the same path. Okay, so you can see here the direction is changing because it moved till 60, and then from 60 it is coming back to the original position. And that's the reason it is coming back to the original position. When I say, if I ask you in the question, what is the displacement? I'm not asking you the distance covered, I'm asking you the displacement. So you will tell me that the displacement is zero because it originally started from this position. It reached to the maximum position and it came back to the same position. And when the body is returning from the when it is starting from the original position and when it is returning back to the original position, we say that the displacement is zero. So if it is asked to you what is the displacement, so you are going to write, children please make note of all this whatever I'm telling you, because this is how the question will be asked. So you are going to say that the displacement, so if it is asked about the displacement, now displacement is represented with the uh, with displacement, whenever you're representing, displacement is represented with S, letter S. So I'm going to represent it with letter S. So if it is asked what is displacement, you are going to write the answer. Displacement is going to be 0. Okay, children. So I hope till here everything is clear, because the body is coming back to the same position. And if they ask you, give an example, then you are going to say that the ball is striking a wall and bouncing back. And in this case, if they ask you what type of motion it is, then you have to say the body is moving with uniform velocity. So children, I hope all type of questions are clear, what may be asked with respect to this particular graph. Now we go to the next particular graph. So in the next graph, you will see that the body, if they show you this particular graph, as we have done this graph in the previous video, displacement time graph, but it's a curve, then you have to say that the body is moving with variable velocity, and the slope will give you the value of velocity. At every point, the value will differ. Now, if you want to convert this graph into velocity time graph, then it will be velocity time graph, and it is going to be a straight line, because in that case the velocity is changing. So here also the velocity is changing, but the velocity when it is changing, that time it is uniform. Means if you see the value when you're going to find out, sorry, when you're going to find out, you will say that the body is moving with uniform acceleration because the value of velocity is changing. But if you find the slope from this particular graph, you will see that the value of acceleration you're going to get same every time. Now, as the value of acceleration you're getting same, so you say that the body is moving with uniform acceleration, but the velocity is changing. So this graph, as I have told you, you have to understand the graphical representation, which is very important in this particular part of the chapter. So when the displacement time graph is shown with a curve, and when you're converting into velocity time graph, it's a straight line graph. Okay, and the value of slope is going to be constant if you consider two coordinates. So when you convert this particular graph into acceleration time graph. Okay, so here it is acceleration versus time. So acceleration is constant. So now you are going to draw a straight line where whatever slope you get. Suppose if you get 10 meter per second square. So you're going to um, draw the coordinates properly. You're going to plot the points on the y-axis. So equidistant points. And then from that particular point, you're going to draw the straight line as it shows that the body is moving with uniform acceleration. So I hope children till here it's clear. So see, just will revise everything once again. As I told you before, that if you are having displacement versus time, and if you're having a straight line, if you're converting this graph into velocity versus time, so in that case, as you can see that velocity is not there, velocity is zero, so you can't convert because that particular graph you can't represent. Velocity is zero means it's not going to be represented. And if you want to convert this graph where you see that the displacement is changing but velocity, as you find the slope, is constant. So if you want to convert this, you will take the constant value what you get and you are going to convert it into this particular graph or velocity time graph. Now after that, if it is a curve for displacement time graph, if you want to convert, if you calculate the velocity, you will see that the velocity is changing. But when the velocity is changing and you will plot it, you will get a straight line graph. From when you get a straight line graph, you have to understand that the acceleration is uniform but the velocity is variable. So if you convert this graph into acceleration versus time, you will get a straight line graph. So I hope children till here it's clear. Now we go back to this graph. Now in this graph, suppose if I ask you to find the value for the displacement, if it is velocity time graph, and if you want to find the displacement, what is the displacement of the body when it is the body is at certain position at 5 seconds. So that means I'm asking you here in this case, okay, I'm asking you that it is at 5 seconds, at certain point at 5 seconds. So from here till the body move to certain point at 8 seconds. So the time interval is given to you. Between this time interval, I'm asking you what is the displacement of the body. So now you are going to draw, see, you are going to consider it is at this point. So velocity is over here. You are going to draw a parallel line to the velocity, that means y-axis, but perpendicular line to the x-axis. So remember it as a perpendicular. So you can see here it is a perpendicular line we have drawn, and here it is a perpendicular line. Now the figure which is formed, so you can see over here, this figure which is formed is the trapezium. So you are going to find the value by finding the area of a trapezium, and whatever answer you get, that is the displacement. Okay, so I hope till here it's clear, children. So we'll just see how to find the area of the trapezium over here. So area is equal to half, sorry, half bracket sum of the parallel sides. So here you can see sum of the parallel sides into the height. Here I'm going to consider this as the height, and because these lines are parallel, so you can see that this measurement what we are getting over here, this measurement and this measurement we have to find. So what do we get? This measurement, uh, so you will see that this particular measurement, as you can see, it is 50 because here it is ending, so it is 50. So here I am writing 50. Then this particular length, you can see it is 80 because 0 to 80. So this length is 80. So now you can see that the sum of the parallel sides, when I'm saying half sum of the parallel sides. So area is equal to half bracket 80 plus 50 plus 50 bracket close into height. So our height is 8. You can see over here it is 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is nothing but 3. Okay, so we are going to write over here 3. So here you can see that just I'll have to rewrite it 1 minute. I'll just clear this and then write once again. So here I'll be getting, I'm just calculating now directly, half into, as you can see, 50 plus 80, 130 into height. 8 minus 5 is 3. So when I calculate, when I cut this particular 2 with, so you can see 2 ones are and 2 6 are 12, 1 carry over, 2 5s are 10. Sorry. Okay, so 65 into 3. So 3 5s are 15, 1 carry over, 3 6 are 18, plus 1 19. So 195, and the unit will be meter. That is the displacement. So I hope children till here it's clear, like how are you going to calculate the displacement. So whichever figure is formed, with the help of that you are going to calculate the displacement. So now we go to the next slide. Now in the next slide you will see that here the graph which is showing, that is velocity versus time, and it is showing that initially the body was having initial velocity as 40 meter per second, and finally the body after 4 seconds is showing 0 meter per second. That means the velocity becomes 0. So here you can see that it is retarding. Retarding means negative acceleration. So negative acceleration means retardation. Retardation means the velocity is decreasing. It is also called as deceleration. Remember that word as well. So there are 3 terms which are related to negative acceleration when the velocity of the body is decreasing. So negative acceleration, retardation, or deceleration. Again, as I told you that the slope will give you the value for acceleration. Velocity versus time means the slope, when you're finding the slope, will give you the value for acceleration. So suppose if you're considering 40 as I showed you over here. So if you're considering this particular velocity, that is 40, and you're considering this particular point. So now according to that, it will be 40 minus 0 because y2 minus y1. So here in this case, it will be y2 because y1 initially the body is having 40 meter per second. So this will be y1 and this will be y2. So 40 when you're writing, as this is initially the body was traveling with 40 meter per second. and finally the body velocity of the body is becoming 0. So this is y2 and this is y1. So 0 minus 40 you will be writing, because y2 minus y1 is our formula. Initial point is considered as x1 y1, final point is considered as x2 y2. So 0 minus 40 upon, now here you can see that initially if you're considering the time was 0 and finally the time was 4. So 4 minus 0. So now the answer for this becomes minus 40 upon 4. So 4 ones are 4 ones are and 0. So that is minus 10 meter per second square. So you get the acceleration value by finding the slope. Now suppose if you are asked to find the displacement, velocity time graph, and you are finding the displacement. So see here you can see that the area which is enclosed, it is this area. See, this area which is enclosed over here is a triangle. Okay, because there are only two coordinates, so you are just going to join the two coordinates. If the two coordinates would have been here somewhere, here and here, then you would have drawn the parallel line and made the figure by joining the line, but the line itself is showing like that. So when the line is going to be formed by the y-axis and the x-axis, joining the y-axis and the x-axis in this particular form, the figure which is enclosed is a triangle. So now here you are going to use the formula half base into height. So when you're using half base into height over here, so you can see half into, now you can see the base is 4 because this particular value is 4. So 4 minus 0 is 4. So 4 into 40 minus 0 is 40. So I'm writing 40. So that is equal to, now when I cut it, so I get 2 ones are 2 twos are 4. I'll just write it over here. You just change the color. Okay, so now if I cut this, 2 ones are 2 twos are 4. So what answer I am getting over here is, after multiplying 40 into 2, so that is 0 and 2 fours are 8. So that means I get 80. So 80 meter is the displacement. I hope till here it's clear. So you can see over here it is 4 minus 0, 4, and 40 minus 0 is 40. So half base into height, that is half into 4 into 40. So half, 2 ones are 2 twos are, and when you multiply 0 to 4s are 8, so it is 80 meters. So you get displacement as 80 meter, and you get acceleration, which is negative sign indicates it is retardation or deceleration. So it is minus 10 meter per second square. So be careful with the units as well, children. So I hope till here it's clear. Okay. Now we go to the next particular graph. Now in the next graph, you can see that here it is again showing, as it is velocity versus time and it's a straight line graph, it's showing that the body is moving with uniform velocity. But initial velocity, what the body was having, is not 0. That means the body is not starting from rest. So when this particular type of graph is shown and you are asked about the type of motion, so you have to say, you have to comment that the body is traveling with uniform velocity, but body is not at rest initially. So here you can see in the heading, That's why I've written when the body is initially not at rest. So this is very important. And here in the previous slide, which was shown over here, you can see that the body is initially having zero velocity. That means the body is starting from rest and then it is traveling with uniform velocity. But here the body is traveling with 10 meter per second. That means the body is not initially at rest. So this comment you have to write when you're writing the type of motion for the graphical representation. So I hope children till here it's clear. Now we go to the next slide. Now in the next slide, you can see that this is velocity versus time, but you can see that the graph which is plotted is taken the positive coordinates of the y-axis and also the negative coordinates of the y-axis. That means the direction is changing. Now in this case, it's very important for you to understand, because initially also we have seen that displacement versus time, and the after reaching 60 meters the body was coming in the opposite direction, but this is velocity versus time. So when you're drawing velocity versus time and you're considering the negative coordinate, that means the body is traveling upward, and then when it reaches certain point, it is coming in the downward direction. So here you can see that I have written downward motion and upward motion. So suppose if you're going to throw the ball and it bounces back after reaching the ground, so it's going to show over here that downward position, the body initially was thrown. When it was thrown, it was having zero velocity, but after that, because it is traveling in downward motion, it is traveling in the direction of the gravity, and that's why its velocity is increasing. So its velocity increases, becomes maximum 50. It bounces the ground that time. When it bounces, when it touches the ground, after that, because again you can see that maximum velocity from there, it is going in upward direction because it is bouncing the ground, because it's banging the ground and it's getting bounced back. So it is moving now in upward direction. As it is going against gravity, its velocity decreases. So it was having 50 maximum velocity, but then when it reaches the certain point, certain height, its velocity becomes zero. So this is how the graph will be. This particular graph will be only asked for identification of the graph. So you have to say that it's a graph of free fall body, because the body is thrown in downward direction. It bounces, it reaches the ground and it bounces back, and then it is moving in upward direction. So you can see that with respect to time, when the time is 5 seconds, sorry, when the time is 5 seconds, that time the velocity is 50, and after that it bounces back, and that's why the velocity decreases and becomes zero. So that's why it is negative coordinates. So I hope till here it's clear, children. Now we go to the next part of it, that is the question, where it's important from the exercise for you to understand that you have to draw this particular graph on the graph paper. So I'll be helping you how to draw this graph. You have to draw it accordingly. And children, remember that this is not in the scope. Drawing the graph may be asked or may not be asked. So sometimes it may be asked from some examiner point. So you should be prepared. So now here you can see that the table is given to you, and you have to plot the graph for displacement displacement versus time, and you have to find the average velocity. Okay, so now here we move to the plotting of graph. So here you can see that it is 0 0 from where it is starting. So I'm going to um, write accordingly. So here I'll be writing 0, 0 from where it is starting. You also please take the graph. You have to initially draw what you do is on the graph paper, one column you leave, from there x and y axis a straight line, from down one box you leave, from left side you leave one box, and draw a straight line which will represent y axis, where the meeting point of x axis and y axis, that is the intersection point, there you write 0 and 0, because initial reading is given to us 0 0. Now when you are writing the points, that time you have to have the equidistant. Before that you have to write the scale. So please write the scale over here. Now in the scale you write down on x-axis. So x-axis is going to represent time. So first you are going to write for x-axis. So now 1 centimeter, that means one box. Here you can see I am having two boxes over here. Okay, so I'm just writing 2 centimeter. So I just clear what I have written and I'll rewrite once again. So here you can see on x-axis 2 centimeter, because two boxes, is equal to 1 second, because the time interval is given as 1 second. And on y-axis, as you can see, there it is one box. Okay, so 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. So this is how I'm going to plot, because if you see the reading which is given to us, so according to that it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The time is increasing with the gap of 1 second, with the interval of 1 second, and displacement is 5, 10, 15, 20. So now from here you understand that 5, 10, 15, 20. So if you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then it will not be, it won't be possible for you. So what you do is you just, I'll rewrite it once again. So here, according to that, initial what we have written on x-axis remains the same. 2 centimeter is equal to 1 second. But on y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 meter. Okay, so that it will go easier for me to write down. So here, accordingly, now I'll be writing 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, 25, okay, and so on. Now you can also take 2 centimeter, but because the plotting is, so I have taken 1, so that your graph will, your entire graph paper will be covered. Then here it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you have to also write what are you plotting over here. You have plotted time, so please write down over here that it is time. You have to draw the line and it should be below that. Now here there is no space, so I'm writing besides it that time is plotted on this. And you have to write the unit as well, that it is seconds in bracket. And then you have to draw the line like this, okay, with the arrow. This should be below this, children. And on y-axis also you are going to draw a line over here. Now there is no space, that's why I'm writing over here. You're going to draw the line with the arrow like this. And here you are going to represent displacement. So you have to write displacement. You have to write full spelling D-I-S-P-A-C-E-M-E-N-T. And then you're going to draw the line. Because there's no space, children, I hope you understand that I'm writing it over here. Meter, as the unit is meter. And then you have to draw the line like this. Okay. And then put F. So this you're going to draw after this. This is how you're going to draw it on your graph. Now if you see the reading, just a minute. If you see the reading, sorry, it's 0, 0, then 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15 and 420. So now here, so now here I'm going to plot that. So first 0, 0, so I'm going to mark the point over here. 0, 0 in the intersection point. Then 1 is 5, 2 is 10, 3 is 15, and 4 is 20. I hope it's same what I have marked. I'll just check with the reading what is okay. So 0, 0, 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15 and 4, 20. Similarly, I have done 0, 0, 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15, 4, 20. Now when this plotting is done, now what you are supposed to do is you're going to join this coordinates. So from here, you're going to join the coordinates. Okay, so children, this is what you're going to draw in on your graph paper. So this is how it will be a straight line graph. So displacement versus time, that means it is moving with the uniform velocity. So you have to represent your graph, you have to write scale, you have to mark the points properly equidistant. Now you can see the gap of 10 minus 5 is 5. So every time the gap is of 5 meter. So this gap should be same between all the points on the x-axis. So 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 1. So you can see over here also gap is of 1 second. So equidistant points means when you're taking the points, when you're marking the points, the gap between the 2 points should be same. And then you're writing the scale. So you have to write the heading over your scale, which I have not written. So please write it down over here. You have to write down it's a scale. Okay. So scale, and then you have to write on x-axis, on y-axis. So your scale heading should be, it should come in the box after that. Then you have to, this should come here, okay? This particular thing, what you have written over here, it should be over here in the corner. And then you have to write the title for the graph, which I'm going to write over here. So it is displacement versus time. So you have to write the heading as title. When you're drawing graph, it should be very systematic. So title. And then you have to write displacement because your y-axis is having displacement. So first you write about y-axis. So displacement and then versus so this is how your graph will look. So I hope children till here it's clear. Please copy it accordingly. Now they have said that you have to find, if you see the question, they have told to, they have said draw the displacement time sketch, find the average velocity of the car. The average velocity means you have to find the slope. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you can see that over here, I'm considering this point, that is the final point. Okay, that is 4 and 20. So this is the final, means it is y2, which I'm going to write x2 and y2. Sorry, first I'll write x2 always and y2. That has to come with comma, children. And I'm writing the coordinates over here in the bracket. So x2 is 4, which I'll write here, comma, y2 with that respect is 20. I'll write 4, comma, so bracket close. Now I'm considering this point, the intersection point, as x1, y1. So this is x1 and y1. Children, comma you have to write in between. Now this is 0, comma, 0. Okay. So now you are going to find the slope using the formula. So slope is equal to, because as you are finding the velocity, value of slope, that is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So now y2 minus y1. So y2 you can see is 20. So 20 minus 0 upon 4 minus 0. Okay, children. So now here you can see 20 minus 0, you are going to get 20 upon 4. So you will cancel this and you'll write 4 ones are 4 ones are 4 fives are. So what do you get? Average velocity, because any point from where you are going to find, the velocity is going to be the same. So here you are going to write the average velocity as is going to be 5 meter per second. So raised to minus 1. Always don't write upon s. Okay. So children, this is your final answer for average velocity. Now let us see what they have asked us next. Now next they have asked us, what will be the displacement of the car at 2.5 seconds and 4.5 seconds. So 2.5 seconds and 4.5 seconds. So what will be displacement after 2.5 seconds? So here you can see. So 2.5 seconds means over here. So from here you are going to draw a line. Sorry, 1 minute. You are going to draw a straight line from here till here, and then from here you are going to draw the straight line till the y. So now when you draw, you can see that the middle point of 10 and 15 is going to be 15 plus 10 upon 2, 25 upon 2, 12.5. So it will be 12.5. So here you, and then 4.5. So I'll just draw after 4.5 also. So it goes straight like this from 4.5. And then it goes from here straight wherever it is going to meet. So you can see it is a midpoint of this. So between 20 and 25, it will be 22.5. So I'll just write the reading for you. So final reading, what you're going to get the displacement is, you're going to, as the time is given, you're going to draw the line till this meet, draw a line in such a way that it is going to go upwards till this line from the x-axis, because the time is given. So you're going to draw the perpendicular line from the x-axis, that is the timeline. You're going to meet this perpendicular line to this line graph, and then after that you're going to draw the straight line which is going to be parallel to x-axis, and you're going to meet it to the y-axis. So that will give you the reading. So this reading is 12.5. The displacement is 12.5 meter, and from 2.5 it is going to be 22.5. So please write this 22.5 meter. So I hope children till here it's clear whatever we have done. So that is how you're going to write down the answer. Okay, now we go to the next graph, because whatever was asked we have finished finding it. Now we go to the next graph. So in the next question it is said, a body is moving in a straight line and its displacement as various instants of time is given in the following table. So here you have to plot this particular table. So plot the displacement time graph and calculate total distance traveled. Okay, so first we will, plot the graph. So as I have told you that first you have to write down the intersection point. You have to mark as 0, 0, because you can see it is 0, 0 from where it is starting. And on the x-axis you're going to take 1, 2, 3, and how we did previously, you're going to write time over here below this, and in bracket you're going to write second. So that you're going to draw similarly, children. Now I'm not writing it over here because there's no space. Okay, and over here, as you can see, over here, it's given displacement is starting from 2, sorry. Though your time is starting with 0, the displacement is going to start from 2, but you have to take equidistance, so we have taken 0, 0. And now what you do is, as you have to mark till 24, what you do is you take a gap of 4. So 4 meter, after that 8 meter, like that you're going to draw. So, so you're going to write over here 4, as it will give you equidistance, because 4 minus 0 is 4, 8 minus 4 is 4, then 12 minus 8 is 4. So you're going to take a gap of 4 meter, children, because then this particular space, whatever is available to us, will be sufficient, because we have to mark till 24, I suppose. So this will be 28, and here we have plotted time till 7. So just we'll see the reading once again, because the table, you should know what exactly is given in the table. So here you can see 7 is 24, 6 is 22. So now we'll plot the point. So 0 is 2, 1 is 6, 2 is 12, till 4 it is 12. So let's go to the next slide. So as you can see, 1 is 0 is 2. So I'm taking it here, the midpoint. So this is, you have to write the coordinates. X coordinate is 0 and Y coordinate is 2. So please write down the coordinates in the bracket when you're marking the point. After that, 1 is 6. So somewhere here, 6. So you're going to plot 1 and then 6 comes from here, because between, then it will be 6 after 2 lines, and then after 2 lines it will be 8. So I'm taking from here, this dotted line I'm going to plot, so that you know that 1 and 6 somewhere here will be giving us the coordinate 1 and 6. This is how you're going to write 1, x-axis first, a coordinate of x-axis, and then coordinate of y-axis. Now 2 and 12 they have said. So 12 and then 2. So the point will be somewhere here. You can draw like this dotted line, so that you understand that this is how you're joining the, you're plotting the point. So write down 2 from the x-axis, comma 12 from the y-axis. Okay, and put it in bracket. After that it is said 3 and 12, so it will come same place. So this point will be 3 and 12. This point I'm writing, the coordinates I'm writing up. You write it properly when you're writing with small handwriting. And then 4 is also coming 12. Okay. So it's going to be here. It's going to be 4, comma. Now after that, what they have said, 5 is 18 and 6 is 22. 5 is 18 and 6 is 22. So 5 is 18 and 5 is 18, so it will come somewhere from here. So I'm not drawing the line, I'm directly plotting the point. So 5, comma 18. And then it is 6 is 22, so somewhere here. Okay, so this is 18 and then 20, 21. Shouldn't just make this point over here. Just erase this part. It has to be 20 over here. And then 24. So a gap of 4. Just see, make note of it. So here it has to be 20. Okay, and here it has to be 24. And here it has to be 28. A gap of 4. So now it is 5 and 18, and now 22 is 6. So I'm just going to draw it from here. So here you write 6, comma 22. And then 7 is 24. So here it will be 7 and 20. Okay. So I hope now all the points you have plotted properly. Write down the scale. So write down the scale in the corner, right side corner. So scale heading you have to write scale, and then on x-axis, so you can see two boxes. So 2 centimeter is equal to 1 second, and on y-axis, you can see over here it is 1 centimeter equal to displacement. As you have to write over here on the y-axis, you have to write over your displacement. So displacement is 4 meter. Okay, this you have to write. You have to write the title for the graph, which will come here in the center. So write the title as displacement versus time. Displacement, which is on the y-axis, versus time. Okay. Now you join the line, because now you have finished plotting the point. So you join the line. So you can see it is starting from 2. So first join till here. Okay, that is 1, 6, and then from there till 2, 12. After that, if you see, this is going parallel to the x-axis. Join this line. After that, you have to draw a straight line till 6:22. It's coming straight. A little bit, you can see that because of the plotting, I'm not taken it very accurately. That's why it might be showing that way. But when you plot, you will get exactly. So take scale and then draw the line. So this is how your graph will look. Okay, children. Now after that, you have to understand that what have they asked you. Now once your plotting is done, you have to find out whatever they have asked. So they have said total distance traveled in the interval 1 second to 5 seconds. So 1 second to 5 seconds. And so you can see from 1 second, that means from here, to 5 seconds, what is the total distance traveled? So as you can see, this is displacement versus time. So from here, 1, it is 6, and till 5, it has reached 18. So that means it has traveled 18, and here you can see it is 8. It was 16, sorry, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1, it was 6. I'll just write it down. That 5 seconds, 18 meter it has covered. And 1 second over here, it was at 6 meter. So minus, because that's the time gap. Initially it was 6 meter and then it reached 18 meter. So when you subtract, what do you get? 12 meter. So that is what the distance covered. Now after that, just check what they have asked next. So they have asked average velocity in the time interval 1 second to 5 seconds. So average velocity, when they are finding, you're finding the slope 1 to 5 seconds. So average velocity, as you can see over here, displacement versus time, always the slope gives you the average velocity. So here 1 is over here and 5 is over here. Okay, so that means the total distance traveled from 1 to 5, we have got 12. Now we will not find the slope, because you can see that is it is not covering equal distance in equal interval of time, and that's the reason whenever it is average velocity, we will take total distance upon total time, that formula. So total distance we have got 12. So 12 upon total time interval, 5 minus 1 is 4. So we'll be finding the average velocity using the formula 4 ones are 4 3. So this will give us 3 meter per second, the average velocity. You have to use whenever the average velocity is asked, you have to use the formula total distance upon total time for this particular graph. Now initially, if you have seen the graph which we had plotted before, it was a straight line graph. It was a straight line graph which we plotted over here, okay, which we had plotted. Now from there, we wanted to find the average velocity of the car. So here you can see that the total distance which was covered is 20, and the total time interval which we have taken is 4 minus 0. So 20 upon 4 will give you 5 meter per second, and from the slope also we are going to get 5 meter per second. Whenever it is a straight line graph, the slope will give you the average velocity. Total distance upon total time will also give you the same value. So let me erase this. And for this particular graph, as you can see that the graph is not a straight line. So what you do is you find the total distance covered by subtracting the between the time interval, the displacement of the body, and the difference of the time interval also, and take the division, use the ratio of that and find the average velocity. So this average velocity is 3 meter and the total distance covered is 12 meter. So I hope children till here everything is clear. Okay, thank you children. Plot the graph. See to it that you plot the graph. Thank you.